Hey, what up? It is your girl MD and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. We talk a lot about hair growth, hair retention, how to take care of our hair, and everything else in between. Okay, so anyone who is watching, if you have any video requests, anything that you guys would like to see more of on my channel, leave those down below because your girl sometimes runs out of ideas, and obviously I want to share things on my channel that you guys want to watch and want to see. So yeah, leave your video requests down below. Today we're going to be talking about breakage and shedding and how to tell the difference. A lot of times maybe you think, oh, you're just naturally shedding your hair, but it could be that your hair is damaged and breaking off. So I'm going to help you figure out what the difference is between the two and how we can solve both of those problems. Most people shed between 100 and 200 strands a day, so don't freak out when you do. Shedding can also depend on medication, health, and stress as well. If you feel like you have a large amount of shedding, like it's out of control, it can be a few things. It could be your health, diet, medication you're taking, surgery, it can be hormonal. Like your hormones have a lot to do with your hair falling out after you have a baby. That's why a lot of moms are like, oh, I'm losing so much hair because your hormones are just out of whack and all over the place. Also experience shedding from heat damage, chemical damage, and color damage. If you're anything like me and you don't comb and manipulate your hair for the majority of the week or a longer period of time, maybe you have a protective style, you'll notice that the number of hairs that you lose will dramatically increase. That's nothing to freak out about, it's totally normal. Like when my hair is straight, I always feel like my hair is shedding and falling out like crazy. But when your hair is curly, your hair doesn't have like the open access to just shed and fall. So it's kind of like sometimes it's like trapped in there within your curls and your coils or in your protective style. You may notice on wash days, you're shedding way more than your 100 a day. Even on days that you're not combing or manipulating your hair, it's still shedding. But you also could be asking yourself, is this shedding or is this breakage? Is this normal or is it unhealthy? There's a quick little test that you can do to answer that question and hopefully ease your mind. You're going to take a strand of hair that has already fallen out and you're going to look on either ends of that strand and look for a little white bulb. That means that your hair is naturally shedding and it's healthy and you are good to go. You can definitely do this to multiple strands of hair just to make sure. But on the other hand, if there is no white bulb and this strand is a bit shorter than your natural length, then I'm sorry to say that this is probably breakage. An obvious way that you can see if you've had breakage is if you can visibly tell if in your hair you see like, oh, this section is kind of going up a little bit shorter than the rest, and obviously you know that that is breakage. But typically I think it's easier to see that when your hair is straight, not unless you have extreme breakage and your hair is curly. Well, that's just kind of has been my experience. If you can visibly see that with your curly hair, like you have a problem with breakage and we need to handle that ASAP. As far as breakage, it could be caused by a bunch of factors. If your hair lacks moisture and gets too dry and brittle, it's going to break off. But I think we all know that by now, right? The type of accessories that you put in your hair, how you handle your hair, if you lack protein, ingredients, and products, the materials that you allowed your hair to be in contact with. Really, so many things can cause breakage. It's really annoying, but I feel like that's pretty much like the general like major things. How can we fix breakage? Well, the simple answer is that use conditioners that are going to put moisture back into your hair to help it retain moisture. Make sure you're detangling properly. Try using alcohol-free products because we know that alcohol is going to dry out your hair, leaving it brittle, and eventually it's going to break and snap off. Make sure you're protecting your hair whenever possible. So satin scarf, satin pillowcase, make sure you're not allowing your hair to be in contact with rough fabrics and clothing. Protective styling, low manipulation. Make sure you have a good solid regimen and you're using good quality products. Products that are going to enhance, protect, and put moisture back into your hair. How to fix and prevent damage can be a long conversation, but this is just a small condensed version. Some products that I like to use when I feel like I'm shedding a little bit more than usual, and these products will also work great if you have damage and you're trying to revert it back to healthy hair. Number one that is always on my list is the Alpha G 2-step protein treatment. I feel like this honestly will fix so many of your hair problems, whatever it is. And I know whenever I feel like my hair is a little off and I'm like, what is going on with you? As soon as I use the Alpha G 2-step, I feel like it always solves everything for me. That's just me and my experience. Or you have damage or you are having a bit of shedding, I would definitely always recommend giving it a try first and foremost. A deep conditioner, you can either buy one or make your own. If you are making your own, make sure you're adding ingredients such as mayo and honey and oils and avocado. Just make sure you're adding heavy, rich things that are going to condition and moisturize your hair. A wild growth oil or some type of great oil or serum I would definitely recommend. But those are just the 3 things that I like to reach for. Clearly there are a ton of other things that you can incorporate into your routine to help with shedding or breakage. But if I had to pick one out of the 3, for me personally, is the Alpha G 2-step. For sure. Okay, so we've talked a bit about breakage and shedding, and if anything, I hope that you're able to at least see the difference between breakage and shedding. And if you have any other questions, make sure you leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them. And if I don't, I'm sure somebody else will hop on to your question and give you some great feedback. You guys are always really great at doing that for each other. So yeah, I appreciate that. So that is it for this video. I will leave links to all the products that I mentioned down below, so make sure you guys check that out. And don't forget, if you have any type of video requests or things or topics that you guys would want me to cover on my channel, it could be anything, it doesn't even have to be hair related, make sure you leave it down below. And like always, I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.